Hello there. Welcome back to another stream with Red Deer. My name is Red Deer. Howdy, howdy. We haven't done this in a while. I have no idea what any of this is. There were other drawings I started on the drawing streams. When I was looking for the sketch pad that I was using, I realized that I actually had a couple, and I forgot which one I was using. The thumbnails all looked familiar on all of the Clip Studio projects, but I had no idea which one we left off on. Didn't know which one. Oh, it's not good. Oh no. Okay, hold on. There we go. There we go. Didn't have the driver on. So I've got no clue what it is we're gonna do today. I just felt like sketching something, sketching drawings, things like that. But I don't remember which one we were doing last time. I think we were just fooling around here. I've got like 4 or 5 sketch pads. No, 3 of them I was using on the stream. One of them was Celia. Although that one's pretty much done. Not much time. And then there was Nemia in the Bernice pose. And then I was just messing around with this one. But I'm not really sure what it is we were doing here. Ho hum. Well, we got the music. Pen's working, sounds great. Music might be a little too loud though. There we go. You know, now that we're here, there's something I actually do want to try. And I've always wanted to try. But I don't have anything prepared for it today, because I was expecting just to sketch. Just tuck away all this stuff into neat folders, their own folders, of course. Open up a new folder with new layers. And then we're gonna start. Then we'll start something new, something different. I think what we need to first do, we're gonna turn the canvas white. Titanium white. It's a beautiful canvas. Everything's ready to go. And we're gonna pick a horizon somewhere. Anyway, take a picture. We're just gonna pick a brush. I'm gonna make it large enough to see on the canvas. We're just gonna pick a horizon right here. We're just gonna start moving it. Doesn't matter what it is. A different uneven layering brush. I'm gonna take a different brush. Nope, not that one. Alright, then we take a large brush. We're just gonna blend it all together. add a little red to it. Make sure it's like a real crisp red. Just gonna go ahead and blend that in. Get a little bit larger. Don't have a whole lot of time today. Make it nice and round. Go slow. My GPU doesn't like this very much. So this is our foundation. I'm gonna mix it in with the orange here. Now we're gonna move on to the sky. I'm gonna bring back that orange, but we're gonna make it crisper. Just a little bit of adjustments here and there. Maybe less crisp. Bring in some of that red. Also making sure the orange stands out on its own. Let's use a paler orange. Actually, let's mix in a little bit of the white there. I'm going to tap. Bring the orange out and around the sun. Big orange sun, big red sun. Some kind of event horizon. And make sure it goes a different direction than the sun. Also paying in mind the ground, which we have established is our horizon. But that's okay. Bring in a little bit like here. So we're going to take that same orange. What we're going to do is we're going to go to our color palette. We'll go to our color history and we're going to bring back the darkest orange we were using. Actually, we should bring in more orangey orange. And we're just going to start stroking. I'm going to bring in the orange from the other side. Oh, don't that look lovely? Bring in some. This is all in the same layer, by the way. Not switching layers. Making a real painting. Some of the orange, some of the red from our sun is getting bled into the sky here. I'm going to bring back that titanium white. We're just going to mix in orangey skies usually come before a thunderstorm. Red suns usually are seen in the sky when it's hazy and smoky. I should know that. I live in California. That sort of thing happens all the time. You get wildfires, usually caused by one thing or another. What people don't realize is that while a lot of the fires are caused by man, there are some plants in nature that spontaneously combust. And another thing is dryness can sap out all the moisture of dead trees and bark and wood, limbs that have fallen off or were chopped off. Sometimes fires can be caused by somebody lighting a cigarette, flicking it onto a dry patch of grass, plants, dead grass. It can cause a spontaneous combustion. And then, always got to be careful when you're around trees, especially dead ones. And we're going to clean our brush. Alright, make sure it's nice and clean. Make sure it's nice and clean. And then we beat the devil out of it. I'm not actually using a brush, but you can imagine that I am. Alright, that's looking good. Just want to bring in a little bit more that orange. Okay, so on a different layer, let's use a darker red. And to bring in one of the realistic brushes. Use a tapered watercolor. I'm just going to make an outline of a mountain right here. Use a darker color. A little more pressure. And then we're going to take a dense watercolor. Remember, we're using an important thing when making paintings like this. When painting something like this, is use a limited color palette. Sometimes you can see it in your head, but other times you need to be able to establish that you're only going to use a handful of paints. I'm going to try and limit it to ranges of red and ranges of orange. So I'm just going to go ahead and make it all rough. I'm not going to worry too much about what the shape is. Just going to let it go. Now remember, this is a different layer. A layer above the background layer. I'm going to bring in a bigger brush. Even out. Let me see here. I'm going to leave this side empty for now. And I'm going to bring in that white from before. We're just going to zoom in a little bit so we have a better view of what we see. What we're going to do, we're just going to start dropping these. Oh. That's the beauty of a digital drawing. Try not to do that too much, because it can be more of a curse than a blessing. But erasing or undoing mistakes. The idea here is to just keep going. Going and going and going. So now we're going to use a round color brush. That's not really doing anything. It's not doing anything. Never mind. Because it's just not showing up here. It shows up back here, but it's not showing up anywhere else. Thick ganache. How about a dry ganache? Okay, that's got a slightly better texture. And then we're going to use that to connect some of what we see. It's going to form a little bit of snow. Just going to fill that in. Marking where it's gonna go. Don't worry too much about what it looks like now. This looks like shit. I mean, we are experimenting. We're just gonna chop off a little bit of the mountain. We'll erase below. There. Clean all this up. Then we're going to take the color we had before. We're going to find a darker version. Let's try, let's say burgundy. I'm going to bring back the dense watercolor. Bring back the larger brush. And we're going to form the shadow on the other side of the mountain. We're just going to fill in that negative space that we left behind earlier. If you want to draw an outline of where it stops, that's okay too. Don't worry about it being even. Sometimes mountains don't have even shadow. We're going to go ahead and bleed that shadow into the other side. Remember to do the same about the light into the darkness. It's always a little bit of light and darkness, a little bit of darkness and light. Two sides of the same coin. In this case, a mountain. Make sure it's full. I'm gonna put some of the, make this smaller. Let's use a smaller brush. I'm gonna use some of the shadow. Just to form this thing. Give it a little bit of depth. Not gonna think too hard on where the shadows go. Remember that it is a mountain. It takes many different shapes and sizes. Maybe we'll put a little bit of darkness underneath where we put the snow. Remember that snow reflects the sun. That's how you can still get sunburned even though it's snowing. As long as the sun's out, it's a danger to everyone. some of the snow. Bring it on the other side. Kind of looks like a pyramid. There we go. Remember, there's also snow on this side of the mountain too. Just a little. Might be a little bit more because it's in the shadow now. Especially if it's finished snowing. Remember, sun exposure creates heat. It might be enough to... Temperature might not be enough to keep the snow from melting. There's certainly going to be more, perhaps on this side, than on the other side. Remember not to press too hard. Some of that snow can't be seen. Maybe we'll bring in a lot more snow this way too. Just give those little areas a little less defined shape. Just gonna tap on them. There we go. This is what we have now. Now we're going to work on some clouds. We're going to use a bit of an orangey white. We're going to use a transparent watercolor. We're just going to start moving it in. Hello, albino tailgater CX. I'm doing fantastic. How are you? I'm going to move back down to the layer that we have the sun on. We're going to bring in some of that orange from the sky. Might be tempting to do a little too much. Just got to resist. Oops. It's playing NASCAR? Ooh, that's fantastic. So we're not going to do that. I mean, I'm going to do this. Remember, it has to cover the... It's got to cover the mountain. Might be tempting to do too much, but... Go ahead and bring it over here. The other side. My sponsor on my race car is Mountain Dew. Oh, like Dale Jr. years back. It's a Diet Dew. You know, I watched the that documentary on Amazon Prime about Dale Earnhardt Sr. I think it was pretty good. making fluffy clouds around the mountain. Go back here. Bring in some of that brown. Some of that mountain. Blend it into the cloud. But make sure not to blend it so much that you lose the shape of the mountain. It's still hidden under there. Look at that. Now we're back on the layer that we have the mountain on, but we're using that same bait, that peach color, the transparent watercolor. We are blending the mountain, little bits we left of the mountain, into the clouds, so that we can still have the indentation of the mountain in the clouds. Some of the mountain was lost in the clouds, so that's okay. Having the impression of clouds here. Just bring it out here. Drag some of that brown into the clouds here. I'm going to round up. Make the sun a little bit rounder. Now, normally they tell you not to paint the sun or the moon in your paintings, but sometimes it's okay to create the things that you see in your head, put it on canvas. Mountain's not straight, that's okay. You'll find that there are a lot of things in nature that are asymmetrical. Life, in essence, is chaotic, but most importantly, asymmetrical. So I'm going to keep that transparent lighter, but we're going to get a smaller brush. Because of the way the sun is behind it, the lighting needs to be a little bit indicative. Actually, no, we're going to use a dense color, but we're going to use a smaller brush. There we go. Bring in some of that orange. No, let's use a lighter color. There we go. Even lighter. I'm going to undo all that crap we just did. There. Checking on your cats? Ooh! Yeah, we're just painting a little mountain. Oh, I mean, I'm gonna take this. We're just gonna start letting that light on the cloud somewhere. Transparent should do. Anywhere it goes. Anywhere it'll take. It wouldn't go there. It would go here. Anywhere it'll take. Didn't I pick Mountain Dew for my sponsors because it's one of my favorite drinks? That's cool. I prefer Diet Mountain Dew myself. I used to drink it. I used to drink Mountain Dew all the time when I was a kid. But then as I got older, sugar became my worst enemy. And then Diet Mountain Dew is really good if you want to cut back on the sugar. And then what happened was when I was in my, I want to say when I turned 25, I noticed that when I was drinking soda, my throat started to hurt. So I can only have like up to 2 cans of soda per day before my throat starts to hurt. So I can't really drink Mountain Dew as much as I would like. But I always liked the red one. Code Red was really good. And it might be before your time, but I remember Livewire Mountain Dew, which was an orangey Mountain Dew. That one was really good. I'm a diabetic, that's why I have to drink diet drinks. Yeah. I'm very sorry to hear that, but yeah, that's pretty much why you have to watch your sugar. That's why it's very important. Well, I mean, like I meant the as in the diet drinks. Diet drinks are really good. And supposedly they're 0 calories, so technically you can drink as much as you want. But I wouldn't recommend doing that. Bring in some of the more of that brown into the clouds. So now we got a layer here. Take some of what we just created. We're going to cast that into these clouds here as a shadow. It's being casted by the mountain. Painted my race car red and green to match my sponsor. That's good. That's important. Keep your sponsors nice and happy. I remember there was a race my dad was watching the other day. There was a car that I think it was dark gray, and the sponsor was black. You can barely tell what was on the hood. And then it got into a really, really sick accident. And it would have been the great opportunity for that company to really get in the spotlight. But because of the color scheme, you could barely tell what was even on the car. My dad and I thought it didn't have a sponsor. Could you imagine? The sponsor was probably very pissed. Excuse me. They were probably very unhappy. Alright. This is starting to look pretty good. Not really sure what's going on here. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. I'm making it up as I go. If you couldn't already tell. Blend in that orange. It's like we got carrot slices here. remember Dale Jr. years back when he got the Diet Mountain Dew sponsorship. His car was mostly white, so that the main logo on the hood would stand out, but he still had the solid black on the very back end of it. And then the sides of the car were like a forest green. Oh, that was a long time ago. I think that was to advertise the new formula for Diet Mountain Dew in 2008. Or was it 2006? That was a long time ago. But I liked that car. It was really nice. And I remember there was also an advertisement for Diet Mountain Dew that would play during some races. There was only one Diet Mountain Dew in there. I still remember the way he says it. Don't tell me that's the last Diet Dew. Something like that. And he traded his car for the last Diet Mountain Dew. Let's save. Control S. Beautiful. Go back to the sun here. So it's same orange, but a dense watercolor. Transparent. Blend in with the sun a little better. I know that I think the Moon Festival is starting this week or next week in China. It's a pretty big deal. It was between Napa or Mountain Dew for the sponsor? I like Napa. Although Napa has it uses blue and yellow, and you see that everywhere. Basically, everybody uses blue and yellow or blue and red. So Mountain Dew adds a little bit of green, which you don't see very often in sports or in brands. It's a unique color. Very difficult to get right. So we're gonna go ahead and cover up a little bit of this right here. A little bit of the transparent. Let's fix up those clouds. I'm gonna run in tiny little circles. Just gonna blend in. changing the background, we also change the mood. Next sponsor for next season will be Napa if you give it to me. Yeah. Are you playing one of the newer NASCAR games? I remember there was a... I remember when I was younger, when I was a kid actually, I played NASCAR Thunder 2002. It was new. That's how old I am. Play NASCAR Heat 5. Oh. I've heard some various accounts about how the NASCAR Heat series has been. But to me, it seems to have all the... As long as you think it's fun, I don't think anything else matters. But it has all of the classic Unreal Engine problems. For some reason, the Unreal Engine 5, the one genre of games it can't quite get right is racing games. Can't quite get them right. I think it has something to do with the way it handles momentum. And objects with collision objects with momentum. It's always been a bit weird. But as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. Let's do a better job at blending this peach. Figure out where I put it. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna take a blending tool. Blend. It's kind of cheating, but I'd imagine it's kind of like using a clean, dry brush. I like using oranges and browns in my drawings. I feel like it's really the only kind of color scheme I understand. Now we will go back to the cloud layer, put something new on top, get a slightly darker beige, bring out the the transparent watercolor. We're just gonna start filling in those clouds. Over here. Just gonna start filling them in. Every here, every there. Create a little bit of depth to those clouds. I really don't know clouds at all. Never received a formal education on art. It's just something I always really liked to do when I was younger. After I graduated, job hunting was very tough. So while I was doing that, especially during COVID, I decided to pick the brush back up, so to speak, digitally. And at that point I hadn't drawn anything in a very not receive a whole lot of encouragement to pursue any kind of creative field when I was younger. But these days, it's all I do. And I feel like I came alive again once I started making things again. It was a very liberating experience once I started drawing again and acting and streaming. I personally believe it is important. Try and protect your kids from harm, but that should not include squashing their dreams. That's my opinion. Help them form realistic expectations based on their skill in that field and their work ethic, but don't outwardly tell them they're not good enough, because that's no good for anyone. That doesn't help anybody. Like, my work would never hang in a gallery because it doesn't belong there, and that's fine. Let's bring back the shadow. What am I drawing? That's a good question. I'm afraid I do not know myself. Kind of half expected to be drawing anime titties, if I'm going to be honest with you. Then I've been watching a lot of Bob Ross to help me sleep, and I decided I wanted to give this a try. So this is supposed to be a mountain just peeking over the clouds, this, with a big orange sun in the background. I've got no idea if that comes across. You know, it's a thing. I got no, I'm just making it up as I go along. Because usually Bob Ross, what he'll do, he will have an idea, and then he'll paint it. And if he likes the idea, he'll use that painting as a master painting, and he'll recreate it in front of an audience. And then he'll paint a third version to be sold. So there was always like 3 or 4 different versions of a painting that he did. But here I've got no clue. I'm making it up as I go along. I got no guides. I'm not looking at any pictures of mountains, as you can probably tell. Charge a transparent. Blending tool. Blending tool. Yeah. I don't. Maybe it's the tip. And I need to refine. There. Bring in an orangey white. Bring back the transparent watercolor brush. And we'll just work that back into the rest of the. Soften out the edges here. There. This is not terrible. Well, we did it in less than an hour. So it's not done, but I don't really. Well, my big old head's in the way. There it is. Yeah, it's not terrible. I'm gonna go ahead and sign the corner here. Right here. New layer. Use a pen. Today is 9/30/25. There. See what I did here? The R is also the D for deer and for red. And then the antlers are also little happy faces. Alright. Well, that takes care of this one. Now we're going to change gears here. I'm going to do a little bit of something else I was working on. Okay, just as a heads up, if you're watching this on a TV or in a place where your parents can walk in, I would advise maybe don't put that on the screen. I warned you. Here it is. Okay, so this is something else I was working on stream. Very different, as you can see. For justice. I need to figure out what the hell it was I was doing. Do I have her color palette saved? Excuse me. No. No, I do not. Wonderful. No, not purple. It's gotta be gray. Grayish purple. Oh, sorry. I forgot I was streaming. I just went into a flow state right here. I get so hyper fixated on what I'm doing that I forget to talk. So now I'm not doing anything on the... based on the... reference sheet. Just kind of freeform jazzing it. tips here. Bring in a little bit of highlight. Lighter than what's normally used. Use a tiny brush. Just bring in some of the highlight. And highlight some of her features here. And that are almost lost to the darkness. Rudy, hello! We just painted a mountain. Now we're working on this. Hold on. Porcelain bits. Occupy. Right here, yeah, look at that. That's the hottest pit in Hollow Live, I'll tell you what. Ah, I painted this. Started the stream painting this. Right here. I have no idea. I was just straight up Bob Rossing it. But you know, Bob Ross has a master painting that he makes before his videos. And then he just tries to remember and copies what he did as he goes along. But here I was making it up as I go. I was basically just riffing it. And I made my little signature here. The R is also a D for deer, and the D in red. And the little antlers look like happy faces. Red Ross, yeah. That's me. So now we're painting. Going back to that drawing I made, or I started ages ago. Haven't touched, according to the save file, I haven't touched it in over a year. It was like November of last year, which is a long time. I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. Maybe we'll give her a little bit of a red flush. I've got lots of colors here. I got a handful of favorite colors, but I'm not using any of them today. It's transparent. We don't want to do too much. Let's add a little color to her face. Just a very subtle color. Add them too. Some of her important regions too. work out. Talking about signature, I recently tried to make mine basically 3 horizontal lines with a right line getting crossed like tally marks. Ooh, that's really cool. Yeah, I think a good signature is just one that's fun to do again and again and again. I think this works. I don't think that works. No, it doesn't work. Get rid of it. What we're gonna do instead is this. Like, I don't think what I did here works. I'm gonna do this instead. Like from my signature, I recognize the need to impress. But at the same time, I don't want to do too much. I don't want to have that signature that takes like 5 years to draw. But I also don't want it to look lazy. Or I don't want to feel like it looks lazy. Unfortunately, most people are mistaking it with the Dead by Daylight logo. Oh, yes! There's actually 4 horizontal lines all slashed by 1 line, like a real tally mark. Oh, yeah, because it's 5 years of Dead by Daylight. Yeah. Yeah, because it kind of looks like this. Kind of does look like that. What direction does it go? I think it goes like that. Or maybe it's kind of like... It's more like this. Something like that. Oh, I just drew something very dirty on an item. I didn't even realize what I was doing. Okay, maybe I did. Oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, this is more or less how it is on the reference sheet, but it's not quite popping the way I want it to. My CC had some rounds. Infinite stamina, as long as she has access to power. Your flesh will not last. And she'll be hopping around wanting to go one more time. Your flesh will not last. powder blue here. Add a little bit more. It's paler than that. The eyes are beautiful? Yes, they are. I don't know who the artist is, but they are masterclass. All the way. All the way. And make sure I match the color as close as I can. Should be going like that. Something like that. I guess this is what they mean by this must be the artist equivalent of working in spaghetti code. Oh, I did not put down a very good foundation. Kind of reminds me of robin eggs now. Oh, why did I do that? Why did I must have been feeling lazy. Why did I put the shading and the color, the base color in the same layer? I don't normally do that. So this is your technique? You use the rough brush for the sketch and smooth it out? Yep, that's what I do. That's what I like to do. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's all the rough draft. But then once you really start going for it, what I usually like to do is I like to separate the base color from the shading as much as I can. And then every instance of the shading, I try to keep separate as much as I can. For instance, this shading layer is different from this shading layer, and it's different from this one, different from this one, and that's different from, this one. Don't worry, when I'm feeling lazy or I can say most of my attempt, I merge all layers and shade it all at once. That is a perfectly valid way to do it. Perfectly valid, methinks. And then I keep sometimes I'll try to I'll shade the breasts separate from the rest of the body, and then I'll shade the face separate from everything else. But then usually the body, no matter what parts are in it, I try to keep that all in one, using the same layers. Like I get the base color, that's the same throughout the whole body. And then the shading, the light shading is the same body. And then the darker shading is the same body. And then the darker shading, if I'm using that. And then any highlights that I'm using right here for the ribs. This will all be for the body. But then the shading, all of the shading for the body will be separate from what I use in the face. But I didn't do that here. So, yeah, I didn't do that here. And then this here for the eye, I usually like to keep everything separate. That way I can go back and just smooth it out. But since the past Red was feeling extra lazy, he didn't do that. So now I gotta be careful not to ruin the darker things with the lighter things. Oy vey. What the fuck? So then, I must have been thinking. Yeah, I was like, whatever. Whatever I just said. I didn't do any of that. So forget I said it. I didn't do any of that. There we go. I must have been thinking about this. Now, I still have a very rough style. It's not refined. It's not perfect. All of it comes from... Everything I do stems from just watching drawing streams, experimenting, practicing, looking at countless numbers of VTuber and anime character reference sheets. What is this? Asking myself the question, what is this style? What does this design look like in my style? To what extent can I try and copy this style for the sake of practice? How much of it can I incorporate into my own style? And then how much of this can I mix with another style? Realizing I can't do any of that. And then defaulting back to my own style. It's good to have your own style. But when you're practicing, you should just recognize your limits. Oh my god, Red, what did you do? What did I do? And then another thing is I like to be able to just kind of go with the flow in the very particular thing I'm working with. Not, oh, do you see what's going on here? That means I didn't finish the base layer. I didn't finish the base color. So I have to remember what the base color was. So I'm going to make the assumption that it was the white in the sclera. Yes. There we go. And then for whatever reason, I didn't bring the green into this part of the sclera. I mean, this part of the iris. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that right now. This is going to be a mess. No. I'm going to fix this part first. Making sure I use this darker green. It's more emerald green. A little harder to see. That's the point. Everything I do is self-taught from practice in the books. How are you? Hello! Long time no see. How you been? And then just a lot of practice. I received no formal training whatsoever, just taught myself from all the books. I mean, everything, all the guides I said earlier. My foundation is pencil, pen, and color pencil from when I was younger. When I took high school and college more seriously, I stopped drawing for years. And then once I picked everything back up, I felt good. Hello, I'm good. How are you? I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I made a mountain at the beginning of the stream. I had no plan. I just straight up Bob Rossed it. But the thing is about Bob Ross, what people don't know, or what a lot of people don't know, especially me, Won the race. Congratulations. Congratulations. Good old Pocono. What Bob Ross does is he will make a master copy of the painting that he wants to work on. And he'll take his time with it. And then if he likes it, he'll recreate it using the master copy as a base during his TV show. And then a third copy will be made. He will make it to be sold. Well, I did not make a master copy. I didn't base this off of any, or really anything, really. I should have. Would have been easier. And I just made this in like an hour. That's my little signature. See? There's an R for red, but it's also a D for deer, and the D at the end of dread. And then their little antlers are also happy faces. Nice, thank you very much. Thank you. It's certainly a thing, but now we're back to Celia, which I haven't, according to the save file, I haven't touched in a year. I think November of last year was when I touched this last. I think I need to use a darker gray here. Why am I using the brown ends? Should probably make it a minty green. Oh, mint. Minto. That's another VTuber I'd like to draw. I don't know. Is this gonna work? Well, let's live with it for a little bit. Because you might not like it at first, but maybe if you let it sit for a bit. Another one of my weaknesses. Forming with the roundness of the eye. Alright, I'm living with it. It's not bad. Not bad. Maybe not great, but not bad. This looks good. Let's bring this back to the eye. Excuse me. Fun fact about anime eyes is that usually in an anime, I'm gonna go have a great day. You too, albino tailgater. I will see you next time. Have a good one. Have a good one. Oh, I'm gonna move my head. Hydration check, posture check, all that fun stuff. Yeah, this'll do. trying to keep a loose grip. Oh, crap. It was fun talking to you. It was fun talking to you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I think we can do this. Oh no, I have to see. Is this in the same layer as this? Okay, no it's not. This past bed was really lazy and didn't establish the foundations I like to establish. I thought it was my phone, but I realized that the audio is a bit muffled. What? No way. Ba ba ba. Excuse me, sorry. Sorry about that. Bap. Oh, I had the wrong. Side ducking the wrong thing. Okay, how about now? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, because I have two separate inputs for desktop audio, so you can hear the music, or sometimes so you can hear the game. And I had the wrong one on. I have the one when things are getting loud. I have that one on. But then when things are not loud, doesn't sound good. I had that one on by mistake. Sorry about that. Sorry, that was funny. I don't know why I think that's funny. There we go. Even, you know what? Because I can also hear myself through my earbuds. I sound so much better. Oh my god, and I went the whole time like that. I'm very sorry. That's some good nuggets of wisdom. I think, anyway. Okay, so she's at an angle. We have to think of it like this. She's like this. This is her looking at you straight on. It's a strange dip here. I wonder if that's just how I did things back then. Don't worry, I thought my rubber phone case was blocking the sound, but then I switched to my laptop. I realized it wasn't the case. Yeah, it's not your fault. Like 9 times out of 10, it's my fault. Because I'm always messing with stuff and I end up breaking things. Tis the life of an English streamer. Or an English-speaking streamer. I wonder what I was thinking with these eyes. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Usually try to keep the sketches on as few layers as possible. Usually when it comes to the eyes, I use a lot of layers. Sometimes blending things will save time, but it doesn't always work. Okay, that's not bad. Where's the green? There's the green. The inner green. Best as I can. Probably not how it is on the reference sheet, but this is kind of how I bring things back into my own style. Like I'll experiment sometimes on how another artist would like to do it. And it's like, okay, this is good. Maybe I'll borrow some parts that I like, mix in other parts I like, but then ultimately I bring it back to my own style. Bring everything back. How I like to do things. It's not a conscious effort, it just kind of works out that way. You'll let your hand, eventually you'll find a groove that you enjoy. You'll find a look that you like. You'll have your tendencies, you'll have the things that you want to do, but then you'll have the things you'll always do. Try not to think about it too much. Finding your own art style. It'll just come to you as you practice. Well, that's my experience. I know you each have your own styles, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Nope. Nope. I didn't like that. I don't like it. Something does need to be done. What's the issue? With it for a little bit. Maybe I'll move on to the ear now. I think I spent enough time on the eyes. I'll come back to it later. And then flesh color. I'm gonna be honest when it comes to the skin color, or skin shading and skin colors. I don't think I quite have it down yet. It's something I've been working on for a while now, especially the ears. I don't know how to do ear. I'm always afraid I do too much. Other sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough. I got like a mess, amalgamation of things, and it's just, I don't know. I'm not an ear person. To draw Celia like this because I knew it would give a challenge. These ball joints here would give a little bit of a challenge. What to do about this? Kind of looks like she's naked here. Don't worry, YouTube, I'm not drawing a nude girl. She's got a towel on. Excuse me. Struggle with face drawing altogether? It just takes practice. Lots of practice. And a lesser known fact is that a lot of anime faces are not based on people, but most of them are based on pets, particularly cats. Most of them, not all of them. Past Red smoking when he did this. Oh, this makes things difficult. I like to separate everything, but when Red starts putting the same shade but on different layers, it makes things harder. That's how I like to do it. I like to separate things as much as I can. And then only blending together things I want to blend together. I'll merge the layers later. Oh, white briquet. It's not that big of a deal. I'm being a little dramatic. Maybe I can get rid of some of that shade. I'll blend it a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you. This alone might blacklist me from ever being able to join Hollow Live. Oh. Or maybe not. Who knows? I don't know what they're looking for or what is a red flag for them. No, that doesn't look bad at all. About it. 65% Hollow Live that is not JP members actually have good drawing talent. I mean, I never thought Ollie, Kiara, Callie, and the other rarely show it. They're very good at drawing. I know. They're really, really good at what they do. I think some of them even did it professionally at some point in their lives. It's really nice. They don't, it's not really, and then the thing is, it's not really their selling point. Despite how good it is. Very talented, highly skilled, talented people, amazing people. They're just using 5% of their power while my 100% is not even close. Ah, you know, they all started out. Nobody's born that skilled. Comes with practice. Skill comes from things that you are willing to practice. I'm just making this up as I go along. I don't think any of this looks good. But, you know, I still like doing it. I like it. But then at the same time, I use all cylinders every time I stream. I don't. No, I think you're fine, Rudy. That's what I'm trying to get at. I think you're fine. You're doing fine. You're doing your best to do it every day. I think that's the most important part. Sometimes you can't do 100%. I think that's fine. have a layer. It doesn't seem to do anything. Oh, the Nick area. No, it's this one. So I'm trying to remember why exactly I did it like this. I think I just liked the way it looked. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with it. Something in particular I wanted to do. It's the top layer. Let's just use it then. So I saw this somewhere. Can't remember where. But I really liked it. So I've been doing it ever since. Barely noticeable. Tiny dots. You just put them. Little tiny dots here. It's like shiny skin. Also emphasizes things you want emphasized. Although usually you just do this. Circle. Put a little bit of shine on her face. Makes her look really cute. Do the same for her boobs. She has a modest size. Don't make them too big. She's not this big. I think there are too many. There's nothing wrong with large breasts in characters. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. I just think that there might be too many. And there aren't enough medium or small chested women. But that's my personal opinion. Went from drawing one big mountain to two smaller ones. Damn right. Damn right. You are damn right, Ryu. Kawaii Ryu. Went from drawing a big mountain to two small ones. Smaller ones. But no two mountains are alike. Every mountain has its own ups and downs. we should learn to appreciate every size. Because every size is great. That is my opinion. Very subtle details. Very subtle changes, but they're there. Although on the surface, I will admit, it doesn't look really all that different from how it did when we started. But I'm gonna have to call the stream here. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming by. I really like the drawing streams. I forgot how peaceful they are. So they're nice to pull out. They're nice to pull out every now and again. It's almost spooky month. Spooky month won't be as long this year as it was last year, but got a good lineup this year. I hope. If everything goes okay. If everything works the way it's supposed to. Have a great day. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your day, Kawaii Ring. Thank you very much for stopping by. Everyone else have a great day. Please like and subscribe if you have not already and you liked what you saw. We do drawing streams every now and again. We do sometimes have hand cam streams, but most of the time we play video games. And I make funny sounds and suck at video games, but we all have a good time. Have a good one. You have a good one as well, Rudy. Thank you for stopping by. And I hope to see you again in the next stream. It should be Friday night, but we'll see. Yeah, it'll be Friday. And then I will see you next stream. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye. Bye-bye.